life.
Yeah. It's not his wife, it's someone else. Like
Manjulali is his wife, right? Yeah, she is.
no, she's like a part of the Zoom, but she's not the host. See?
No, somebody else.
Rihanna, Haribo. Yeah. Okay,
Hare
kids.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, we are going to give it a minute for other kids to join. I just sent a reminder in our WhatsApp group. We'll just wait for another minute. And who wants to chant today? Is anybody interested to chant? Okay. You know what we normally do? We start with chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you have to chant it 12 times, okay?
Yes, I did. I didn't say before class, but before I ate lunch.
Sorry,
I
Srinika.
didn't. I said the Hare Krishna 14 times before lunch.
Wonderful. You're so inspiring, Srinika. You have to do that more and more, okay? Okay, who is going to volunteer? Did Sai Lalita say she's going to do it, or who was that? Sai Lalita raised her hand. Okay, Anish has also raised his hand. Is it Misty? Misty and Ethereal? What's that?
Ethereal.
Ethereal. Okay. So, okay, let's do this. Each one of you can chant 5 rounds. Okay. I mean, sorry, 5 times. So we'll begin with Sai Lalita. You can go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Babaji.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sai Lalita. And Misty and Ethereal, do you want to do 5 times?
Okay. Hare should I do it in a tune or like?
You can do it in a tune. Yeah, if you can.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And I request all the kids to sing along with her. You can be on mute, but you don't have to just listen. You can also sing along with her, okay? I know you were doing Sravanam. That's what we are going to discuss today. But who else? I think Anish said that he is interested. Anish, do you want to do that? 5 times.
Okay.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Anish. That was wonderful. I know Srinika wants to do, and Shantan also messaged that he is also interested to do. I think we can do. You all can do it at the end. Okay, so we still have some time at the end, but we'll first get started off with today's topic. And I request all the kids today. The class is going to be given by Manjulali Priya Mataji, and I want all of you to welcome her by saying 3 times Hari Bol. Okay, now you can unmute yourself and say Hari Bol 3 times and welcome her. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Okay, wonderful. Mataji, you can take over.
Hare Krishna, everyone. I'm so grateful for your kind audience and your kind reception. Kartik Prabhu, can you make me co-host so that I can share? Yes. So thank you so much for your kind reception, and I'm very grateful to ISKCON Tampa Committee for Kids for allowing me or giving me chance to purify and engage myself and others in Krishna consciousness. So who can tell what we did last time in a line or two? Who remembers what we did last time in the last class? What was discussed?
We saw the winners of the temple making.
Okay, but what did Renuka Mataji taught you or teach you last time? Sai Lalita would like to share?
Yes, Mataji. 9 process of devotional service.
Wow, that's right. And can you tell me which one is the first devotional process? Do you remember? Anyone remembers?
Hearing.
Yeah, that's true.
9 Mahajanas.
So that's what we will discuss.
Chanting.
We will discuss today about hearing. So today's topic is Sravanam, and it means hearing. So before we actually go to the topic itself, we will see how sound affects us in our day-to-day life, how sound is so powerful in our life. So some time back, scientists did a research, they did a study. They did the study on the plants. And so one guy went and was saying good things to the plant, like, oh, you're so good, you're such a nice plant, growing so well, giving nice fruits, giving nice flowers, and we're so grateful. So that plant, what happened to that plant was growing nicely, just as we see here. And then the other man came and he started saying all the bad stuff to the plant. You're good for nothing, you're useless. What is the purpose of your life? You don't give any fruits, you don't give any shade. What is this? So all those bad stuff was being said, and so the plant wilted. So we see the power of the sound is so profound that if someone is appreciating us, we are more encouraged, we are more happy. But if somebody is, talking nonsense or not talking properly to us, it can affect us so greatly that the plant wilted in this particular experiment. And similarly, our enthusiasm will also wilt because there's no encouragement. So this is the power of sound. Just by the speech, just by the mere vibrations, certain vibrations, whole thing can change. So we see there are some more studies done by the scientists, and they say that people who are in the nature, they're hearing the sound of the birds, they're hearing the sound of the water in the waterfall, in the creek, in the river, or they're hearing different other sounds, the wind blowing through the trees. They're more happy people as compared to people who live in the cities and hear the zoom 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 of the cars. So that was the study done by the scientists. That was observation made. And when we see Ramayana, as little Shrinika was sharing, in Ramayana there comes a little passage where Lord Ram is wandering from forest to forest, and he comes to stay at Chitrakoot. And he tells Lakshmana, his younger brother, that build a house, build a little cottage next to the river, next to the trees where the birds are living, because when the birds chirp, when the river is there, when the greenery is there, it's very nice to live there. So that is, again, in the surroundings of the nature. And you must have observed in our day-to-day life that if a very happy song is going on, then we naturally feel like clapping and tapping our foot and dancing around, isn't it? And if a very sad song is played, suddenly our mood will become very, very, sad because it's a sad song. So you see, the power of the sound is so, so strong that it affects us in our day-to-day life every day. And the power of sound in today's world is also being used to treat different illnesses. If people are sick, they are given certain nice vibration sounds, and then they can be cured. So you see, if I tell someone, like, let's say I tell Mishti, what have you done? And so Mishti becomes immediately happy, because I said something very, very positive, in a very positive manner. But if I tell her, Mishti, what have you done? The similar sentence can have a very different meaning. So the person was angry. The sentence, the words were same, but the manner in which they were spoken would create a very different effect on the person. So sound is again so powerful that actually the whole creation, the Lord creation has begun with the mere sound. It begins with sound. The material world was created because of the sound, and we can get out of this material world with the power of sound. That is the the prowess of this particular element. So we see Lord Brahma, when he appeared from the lotus which grew from the navel of Lord Vishnu, he appeared, he came out in total darkness. It was all dark, very dark. Have you been in the dark room before? It's so dark that you don't know what to do, where to go, where is what. So Lord Brahma was confused. Lord Brahma was confused as to where am I, what I'm supposed to do, what is this, what is the purpose of my life. I became so confused, so bewildered. And then the sound came of the Lord. He said, Tapa, Tapa, Tapa. That means he had to do austerity. Austerity means he would willingly undertake something difficult to achieve something positive. Just as if we want to achieve good grades in the school, we take we undergo difficult preparation. We study so hard, we prepare so well, we memorize so well, we recite, so we try to practice to recite well, and then we go write the exam and then we get the results. So we undergo certain difficult phase voluntarily by our own choice, and then something higher is achieved. So here Lord Brahma underwent a very difficult, he meditated, he did austerity, he did whatever he could do, and then eventually the knowledge to create the world was revealed within his heart when he was meditating. It was revealed. Krishna played his little flute in the spiritual world, and the instructions went to Lord Brahma into his heart, and it was revealed. Oh, this is how he's supposed to create the world. So then he created the stars, he created the moon, he created the sun god, he created other demigods, and then everything was set. The human came, the other animals came. So he got the knowledge from the Supreme Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam describes the first sound that comes is called actually Tan Matra sound, before the sound of the ether, which makes the material life, which makes us. So which is stated in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says to Arjuna, Bhumir apo nalo vayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakrite ashtadha. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Ether is actually sound, and mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are all my 8 separated energies. And from this, our bodies are made. You know, we see earth, or we see our skin, we see our bones, we see our hair. We can see them. So they are earth, coming from earth. Then we drink water. Our body needs water. Fire, you know, our food gets digested because there's some kind of fire within our body. Then air, we are breathing in and out. Sound, we are speaking, we are talking, we are hearing, we are in the midst of sound. So these are all what constitutes our body, besides mind, intelligence, and the ego. So this is what Krishna says, Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita about sound. And so sound becomes the very basis of our life. It is so important, so important. You must have all kept an alarm clock, isn't it? You know, or at least seen our parents do that. We sleep at night and we put an alarm to wake up in the morning. Why is that? You know, because our ears are very important organ. You know, when we are sleeping, our eyes are closed. We have no knowledge where we are when we are sleeping, isn't it? We don't get to know. We are sleeping on the floor, we're sleeping on the bed. When we sleep, we don't get to know that. So we are so much, you know, in deep sleep, which is like almost a state of unconsciousness. But our ears are active. So when the alarm goes, then we wake up. So ears are the first organ which get activated, or which start working first. You know, when the babies are in the mother's tummy, they can hear everything. They can hear their mom, they can hear their dad, they can hear all the sounds. And we see from Srimad Bhagavatam that Prahlad Maharaj, the little Prahlad, heard Srimad Bhagavatam when he was just in the womb of his mother. He was just a little.
Also talk that time when we were in our mom's tummy.
So Prahlad was, he could hear everything in his mom's tummy, and he learned all the Bhagavatam. And he was telling, when he grew up, he could tell to his father, he could tell to his little friends, he could tell to everyone what he learned in the womb. And ears are also the last to shut off. So when somebody is dying, all the senses may become dull. You know, the eyes may not be able to see clearly. We may not be able to speak very clearly. We will not be able to move our body nicely, but we can still hear. And so it's the first to get activated, last to get deactivated. So ears become very important spiritual sense organ, and they're always open. Eyes have lids to shut the eyes off, and the mouth closes, but the ears are always open. They're always alert, hearing different sounds. How a young child learns all the words the family is speaking just by hearing. He's always constantly hearing how to say mama, how to say dad, how to say different words, how to say water. He's listening and therefore he learns. So there we cannot underestimate the power of sound. It's so important. So similarly, as we have this alarm clocks to wake us up from our sleep, there's also spiritual alarm. Spiritual alarm is what we say is the holy name, is the instructions of the Lord, are the literatures like Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita that you're all listening and enjoying. They're all spiritual alarms. The Lord Gaurachandra, Lord Chaitanya sings, Jiva Jago, wake up sleeping souls, wake up sleeping souls. It's not that everybody is sleeping, like sleeping. But as long as we are not aware of Krishna in our lives, then our intelligence is sleeping. So when Lord Gaurachandra is saying, wake up sleeping souls, he's trying to awaken our intelligence, our spiritual intelligence. So the spiritual alarm is the holy name, is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that we just chanted, are the verses that we're reading and trying to memorize are all spiritual alarm. These instructions, these topics of Krishna are spiritual alarm. Also, we have to see that, how Krishna has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So what does that mean? We are supposed to speak less and hear more. People who talk more, they may not imbibe the information, because they're just talking, just letting whatever they know or they do not know, or they think that they know, and they keep blabbering. But when we come, especially in the association, in the company of our elders like parents and teachers, we're supposed to completely hear. So we are supposed to hear more because we have 2 ears and one mouth. We have to speak less. So now who wants to hear the story? There's a nice little story.
I do.
So there's a nice little story. So one fine day, one devotee went to the lake and he saw a man. Man was picking little wrappers, bubblegum wrappers, chewing gum wrappers, small little packets he was trying to remove from the lake. So the devotee asked, "Hey, what are you doing here?" So this man said, "And I'm trying to remove this little trash." So, "Why are you doing that? Why do you have to remove this little trash from the lake?" He said that actually there lives a little fish here, which is called a salmon fish. The salmon fish, when it's growing old, when it's aging, it wants to stream down the river with the flow of the river towards the ocean. The river flows towards the ocean. So when it's aging, it flows and it swims down the stream. And when it's time for it to die, then it comes back. It comes back to the river. And in the river, it actually tries to find a place where it was born. It goes back to the place where it was born and then dies there. So the devotee asked, "Okay, but then what it's got to do with the fish? The trash got to do with the fish?" So this man explained that actually this fish smells its way back to its homestead, the homestead where it was born. So when these little wrappers are there in the water, it cannot smell properly. These all foreign smells come. Then the fish becomes confused. It was not there before when I was born in the lake. Where is this smell coming from? So I need to remove this trash so that the fish can swim smoothly back to its homestead. So then the devotee felt very enlightened. He felt very happy. Wow, this is a piece of information. And then he started walking back to the temple doing kirtan. But then he realized that actually the fishes are smelling their way back to homestead, and we, the human beings, the devotees, try to hear our way back to homestead. That means we're trying to hear the holy name. We are trying to chant the holy names. We are trying to absorb these verses and these instructions And what does it do to us? We go to our home, which is back to Godhead. We go back to Krishna. So that is our homestead. So fishes are smelling their way back to homestead, and we are hearing our way back to homestead. So if we are trying to interfere our hearing with different things, like what we don't need, or what interferes with our journey towards Krishna, it will impede our journey towards our homestead. So therefore we have to stop putting micro trash in the form of nonsense in our ears, so that we can smoothly go back to Krishna without any interference. So that is the little story of a salmon fish. So, Krishna is so kind that if he has sent us in this material world, if he has sent us in this world, he's also trying to pull us back, pull us out of this world. So in this world, he descends among plants as Tulasi. So we worship Tulasi and we can get unlimited benefit. We can even go back to Godhead just because we are wearing Tulsi beads in our necks. So then among stones, Krishna appears as Shilas, Govardhan Shilas, Shaligram Shilas. Among the books, Krishna has appeared as Srimad Bhagavatam. Among humans, among man, Krishna appears as the spiritual teacher. And among the sound, Krishna has appeared as the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
The man, I saw it in the Ramayana book. I
Oh,
saw
wow.
a picture of him.
Yeah, that's Srila Prabhupada, because of whom we are all connected today. So he got this little Maha Mantra in every town and village, so that we can go back to our homestead. So this chanting of the holy names is non-different from Krishna. This transcendental sound vibration is capable of taking us back home, back to Godhead. So we come to the topic of Shravanam, the first process in the 9 process of devotional service. Shravanam is hearing, and we saw how hearing is so powerful. All these regular things from the material world can have so much effect on our mood, on our day. So imagine what these powerful vibrations of the Lord can do to us. They can just cleanse our heart. They can make us very happy and blissful. So Shravanam is actually the beginning of spiritual life. We begin our Krishna conscious journey by hearing. Somebody may tell us, oh, today Karthik Prabhu is distributing lots of prasadam cookies. So we heard, oh, it's something prasadam, Krishna prasad is being distributed, and there are cookies today by Karthik Prabhu. So we hear about Krishna. Oh, there's a program happening. Oh, there's a kirtan happening. We hear about Krishna, and so we come to a spiritual life. We hear how Krishna looks, how Krishna plays, how Krishna dances, how Krishna jokes. We hear about Krishna, how Krishna speaks. So, and also this Shravanam is also the basis of other processes. So if your Shravanam, if your hearing is very good about Krishna, then you will naturally do kirtan. Kirtan means either sing the holy names, or you can talk about Krishna. Talking about Krishna is also kirtanam. Glorifying Krishna is also kirtanam. So if you have heard enough, then you can talk about Krishna. Just as if I tell you today, can you tell me about President Obama? Then if you have heard enough about him, you will be able to tell. If you have not heard about him, how will you tell? So similarly, if you have heard about Krishna, then you will be able to tell about Krishna. It's as simple as that. So good hearing leads to good kirtan. Good hearing leads to good smaranam. Smaranam means remembering the Lord. So if you have heard enough, then we can remember, oh, Krishna plays hide and seek with his friends. Oh, today cowherd boys stole the lunch bag of Krishna, because Mother Yashoda sent samosas. So If you have heard enough, then you will be able to remember the pastimes enough. Oh, Krishna killed Kaliya by dancing on its hood. Oh, Krishna broke the butter pot of the gopis while they were going to Mathura and ate the cream of the yogurt. So that's how we can remember the pastimes of the Lord. Then, if we have heard enough, then we can do worship of the Lord very nicely. We will know what Lord likes, what Lord does not like, how Lord like to be dressed. All that we can do very nicely. Then in Vandanam, we can offer very nice prayers. Oh, Gajendra offered prayers to Krishna like that. Oh, Mother Kunti offered prayers to Krishna like that. Oh, Prahlad Maharaj offered so and so prayer to Krishna like this. So it's so natural. It becomes very, very easy. All of the processes become very easy if we have heard properly about Krishna. Then we become nice servant. Then we see, oh, Krishna is so merciful, Krishna is so beautiful, and we naturally want to give everything to Krishna. We fully surrender ourselves to Krishna. We want to dedicate our lives to Krishna.
It's 5:06 already.
So I think last time you memorized one line of this particular shloka. Would you like to memorize the second one today? Does anyone remember the first line? Can anyone recite? No one remembers the first line they memorized from the verse. Shravanam kirtanam Vishnu smaranam padasevanam. Oh, nobody remembers. It's so easy. You have to memorize gradually now. So first process is Shravanam. That's what you're learning today. Then next is Kirtanam. Then Vishnu Smaranam. Then Padasevanam. So Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam. Who would like to say the second line? Yes, Shrinika?
Can I do? Can you say it once and can I copy you?
Yes.
That's how I get it.
Shri Prahlad Vacha.
See, Prala Vacha.
Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu.
Shavanam Kirtana Vishnu.
Smaranam.
Smaram.
Smaranam Padasevanam.
Smaranam Padaseranam.
Shri Prahlad Vacha.
See, Prala Vacha.
Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu.
Can you say that one more time? I didn't hear.
Shravanam
Shavanam
Kirtanam Vishnu.
Kirtanam Vishnu.
Smaranam
Smaranam
Padasevanam.
Padasevanam.
Thank you, Shrinika. Please practice it, okay? This is very, very important verse. Ethereal, would you like to say?
Huh?
Would you like to also?
Shri Prahlad Vacha, Shravanam Kirtayanto, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Padasevanam, Archanam Vandanam, Dasyam Sakyam Atman Nivedanam.
Very nice, very beautiful. So like that, everybody has to recite gradually. As you'll go through the sessions, you will memorize all of them. To today's Shravanam, so you should know this first word at least, Shravanam. Then next you will learn Kirtanam, then you should know Kirtanam. Then next Vishnu Smaranam. So like that, you have to memorize. So Shri Prahlad Vacha, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Smaranam Padasevanam. So like that, you try to memorize till the second line, so that when next time the class happens, you should be able to tell very proudly, yes, I have memorized this beautiful verse. These verses are very powerful. They increase the intelligence. If you memorize Sanskrit, it increases your intelligence. Then you can memorize a lot of other things from school. So, who will tell me who is the acharya or who is the devotee who has lived the life of Shravanam, who exemplifies Shravanam? Can anyone tell? Does anyone remember from the last class? Okay, Lakshay. Lakshay, would you like to tell?
Yes, I think it's Parikshit Maharaj.
Yes, wonderful. Yes. So,
I know the same thing.
oh, okay, very good, very good. So today we'll be learning something about Parikshit Maharaj. Why is Parikshit Maharaj glorified? So who is Parikshit Maharaj? Do you know Pandavas? Pandavas who fought the great battle of Mahabharat at Kurukshetra. Oh, Shrinika doesn't know. That's fine. So there was a big battle. There was this big battle that happened. Yes, do you want to say something, Durga Ram? Do you want to say something?
But actually, in Mahabharata, I saw Pandavas versus Kauravas. Pandavas are good and Kauravas are bad. There's 101 Kauravas and 5 Pandavas.
Wow, that's nice. So there was a big battle that happened between 100 Kauravas and the 5 Pandavas. So amongst these Pandavas eventually won the battle. They were because they were virtuous, they were righteous, they were towards the side of dharma, they were towards the side of good. So one of the Pandavas was actually Arjuna. Arjuna, and he married Subhadra, who was Krishna's sister. And then they had a son, Abhimanyu, who actually died in the battle of Kurukshetra. I would not tell the story today because we're less on time. There's some other activity for you. So Abhimanyu died on the battlefield, but he had a wife called Uttara, and they eventually gave birth to Maharaj Parikshit. So when Abhimanyu died, Parikshit was actually into the tummy of Uttara. He was still not out of his mother's body. So then what happened was the war happened, and there was this bad guy called Ashwathama, who he was very, very cruel. He was actually supposed to be very learned because of his high
So
birth.
how did that person die?
Who?
How did that person die?
Yes, I will not tell the story today. We'll discuss sometime later because it's a big story. But there was a trick in the war. In war, people do die. So that is a different story of how he died. But he died. We'll just accept it today like that. So Parikshit was in the tummy at that time. And then what happened was the war got over and it was time for Krishna to leave to Dwarka. The war happened in Kurukshetra, and the Pandavas were to return to Hastinapur, which is now present day New Delhi. And Krishna was returning to Dwarka. So at that time, this bad guy, Ashwathama, who actually killed all the other sons of Arjuna. Arjuna had another 5 sons, and they were all killed. The Pandavas had 5 sons, and they were all killed by a bad guy called Ashwathama. Ashwathama was actually their teacher's son, but he was very bad. He was a very cruel person. He didn't spare young babies. They were sleeping, and he killed them. It was against the principles of war. So Ashwathama got very enraged. He was actually insulted by the Pandavas after this episode when he killed the sons. So because of that insult, he didn't have remorse for what he did. He didn't feel sorry for killing 5 little babies in their sleep, helpless babies, and he felt so insulted by that act of Arjuna. Publicly, he embarrassed Ashwathama. So Ashwathama took revenge. He left out a weapon which is called Brahmastra. Brahmastra is like how today we have nuclear bombs. They throw a bomb and the whole city is destroyed. But the Brahmastra was a more sophisticated, more refined form of bombs that we see today. Because when bombs are thrown, if you desire something to be destroyed, there'll be a lot of things that will be destroyed, which are like not required or not desired. But this Brahmastra goes just to the target. This person is the target, that person will be gone. Nothing else, nothing else around it will be destroyed. So this Ashwathama released the Brahmastra to kill Parikshit. And Parikshit was a little baby in the tummy. He was still in the tummy. And so Brahmastra was coming towards Uttara, because Uttara had baby in the tummy. And Uttara got scared and she went to Krishna and she said, Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate Jnanyam Tvad Abhayam Pashet Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. She said to Krishna, Oh Krishna, oh master of the mystics, oh best of the yogis, please protect me, please protect me. This weapon is coming to kill my baby. You allow me to die, but please protect my baby somehow. So Krishna analyzed, oh, the Brahmastra is coming. There's no time. There's not enough time to chant mantras and counteract the Brahmastra. So what he did was, you see, Krishna entered the tummy of Uttara, and the baby is lying there, Parikshit Maharaj. And Parikshit was actually almost gone because of the Brahmastra's heat. It releases great heat. So Parikshit was almost all gone, and Krishna revived Parikshit, to second body. He gave another new body to Parikshit, and Parikshit came to life, and he witnessed that Krishna has assumed the four-handed form, beautiful four-handed form. Krishna was bedecked with jewels, beautiful crown Krishna was wearing. Then Krishna was swinging the club like this in the womb to protect the baby from the Brahmastra. He was, doing a little bit of wrestling, and Krishna was wearing nice. He had blackish complexion, beautiful blackish complexion. He had nice dhoti, beautiful silken yellow dhoti, and Krishna was the size of a thumb, just the size of a thumb, and he was trying to protect Parikshit just by doing swirling movements with his hands with the club that he was holding. And Parikshit was wonderstruck. Who is this personality who came to protect me? Who is this beautiful person? He was so wonderstruck by seeing Krishna's protection. He was so grateful that Krishna came like this, and he was wondering, who is this beautiful person who's protecting me? And he was just amazed by that scene. So when Parikshit was eventually born, he was foretold that he'd become a very, very great ruler. He would become really great, nice king. He would rule the entire kingdom with great might and righteousness. And he would be called Parikshit because he would always be examining where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is that personality protected me when I was a little baby? So when Parikshit came out, he was always, oh, is that the person who protected me in the womb? No, he's not like that. Is this person? Is that the person? So he was always examining. Pariksha. Pariksha means to examine. So therefore he was called Parikshit because he was always examining, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Is this person Krishna? Is that person Krishna? So like that he was called Parikshit. Then once when Parikshit grew up, he became a nice, strong king. He encountered a personality who came as in the form of, he was dressed as a king, but he was not king. So he was acting as if he's a king. And he was hitting the cow. You see the little cow here? The cow was being beaten by this personality, this bad guy. And Parikshit became disturbed. Because when the king is good, he does not like that in his kingdom there's such kind of suffering imposed on innocent living entities like cow. Cow is mother for everyone. She gives such nice milk, and because of milk we get butter that we can make cookies, ice cream, we can make nice yogurt, nice sweetmeats. So we should be so grateful to mother cow. And so Parikshit Maharaj wanted to protect. So, following in the footsteps of Parikshit Maharaj, we should also try to protect Mother Cow because she gives us so much. So he said, who are you? Why are you disturbing the peace of my kingdom? Why are you hitting the innocent animals like cow and the bull? And the bull, you see, bull had only one leg. All the three legs of the bull were cut by this personality called Kali. So the bull actually represents dharma. Dharma means righteousness, religiousness, and it's represented by four legs of the bull as austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. So the three of the legs were cut, only truthfulness was left, only one leg. So then Kali saw the fearsome form of the king and he said, please, please, please forgive me. I don't want to be, please spare me. I'm at your shelter. Once I've taken shelter of you, king is not supposed to harm the people who have taken shelter at his feet. Please, please don't harm me. So Parikshit said, okay, but because you're a friend of adharma, I cannot allow you to stay in my kingdom. So he said, okay, now I have taken your shelter, so you also tell me where should I reside. So he said, you reside where there's meat eating, people are taking intoxicants like bad drinks, bad drugs, bad things they are doing. All they are lying. There's a lot of gold. You can stay there because when there's gold, when there's wealth, people eventually lie. They murder. They kill someone. They become very bad in all the characteristics. They are not clean. So all those things will happen. They will drink wine, they will enjoy in a wrong way. So then Kali left, and Parikshit Maharaj saved his kingdom from the effects of this bad guy. And he restored the life of this cow and this bull. So one day, Parikshit Maharaj was hunting. He was actually chasing after a deer. And while he was chasing after a deer, he became very tired. He became very thirsty. He became very hungry. He became very, like, extraordinarily very thirsty. Now, usually, that's not normal. He became very unnaturally very thirsty. So he went in search of water, and he came upon this sage's home, this hermitage where he's. So this is Parikshit Maharaj. This is sage Shamik. Now, Shamik was in meditation. He was deep in meditation. He just couldn't hear what is happening outside. He just didn't know what is happening outside. So when Parikshit Maharaj came, he said, please give me some water. Shamik Rishi was meditating. He just didn't know who came, who asked for what. And Parikshit Maharaj repeated his request, but Shamik Rishi didn't move at all. And so Parikshit Maharaj got angry. He said, how can someone do like that? If a guest come at someone's house, they at least offer some seeds, some water. But this sage is just sitting, not replying anything. Why is this sage doing like this? So then he became angry and he left the cottage. But while he was leaving the cottage, he saw there was a dead snake lying. So he took the dead snake and garlanded the Shamik Rishi. And Shamik Rishi didn't know. He was still in trance. He was still in meditation. So then this Parikshit Maharaj left. And when Shamik Rishi's son got to know that what happened to the father, he became very angry. And he became so angry, he cursed Parikshit Maharaj that Parikshit, this king, will now die in 7 days. And with the Tataksha, it's a big snake bird, will come and kill the king from now onwards. From today onwards till the 7th day, my Parikshit Maharaj will be alive, and after that he will be gone. So then this son, Shringi, then felt very bad that why did he curse? Why did he curse the king? He came back crying to the father. The father then came out of meditation. He said, why are you crying? He said, this and Parikshit Maharaj came to you. You didn't say anything. He put a dead snake. Then I got to know. I cursed the king. Then I'm feeling very bad that why did I curse? So then Shamik Rishi said, oh my God, why did you do that? King is supposed to be like God. They have kings are like Ishvara Bhava. That means Their natures are like God. They're representatives of God. Why did you curse the king? You should not do that. And he was feeling very sad. Then Shamik Rishi sent a messenger to Parikshit Maharaj. Meanwhile, Parikshit Maharaj also started feeling very bad. Why did I do that to the sage? Why did I do that to the Brahmana? Why did I do such a childish behavior of putting a dead snake around? He was feeling very sad. So in the time messenger came and messenger told that Parikshit Maharaj is only 7 days because of the curse of Shringi, the son of this sage Shamik. And the Taksha, great snake bird, will come and kill Parikshit Maharaj. So then what did Parikshit Maharaj do? He left everything. He immediately left everything. He got to know, okay, only I have 7 days. Most of us are not so fortunate there where we will get to know, oh, we have just 7 days. Anytime Krishna can take our life. So Parikshit Maharaj knew that, okay, I have just 7 days. I will just hear Krishna's pastime and nothing else. For 7 days, I will fast and hear Krishna Katha. So then he went to the bank of a river Ganga, and he started meditating there. Then all the sages came as they got to know, oh, this has happened. Parikshit Maharaj is about to leave. And they gathered around Parikshit Maharaj and told, we will sit with you till your last day. Then he wanted to hear Krishna's pastimes. He asked question. Every sage described differently. So in the meantime, great sage Shukdev Goswami, who's sitting here, arrived at the scene, and he became the spiritual master, spiritual teacher of Parikshit Maharaj, and spoke Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days and nights continuously. And Parikshit Maharaj heard Srimad Bhagavatam, entire Srimad Bhagavatam, for 7 days and 7 nights. So you see, the thing that happened with Shamik Rishi was actually all Lord's arrangement, so that Srimad Bhagavatam can be spoken by the Lord, by the great devotees, for the benefit of the entire humanity, including all of us. For all of our benefit, this whole pastime was arranged by the Lord himself. Because Parikshit Maharaj, see, he was fasting for 7 days and 7 nights and heard Bhagavatam continuously with rapt attention. But he couldn't bear the thirst on that very fine day in the forest. Just imagine, just few hours of thirst he couldn't. But here he's thirsty for 7 days and 7 nights and hearing Krishna Katha. So it was all arranged by the Lord. Everybody was Lord's instruments so that Srimad Bhagavatam can be spoken. So Parikshit Maharaj is glorified for hearing with rapt attention. And while he was hearing Bhagavatam, he would tell Shukdev Goswami, yes, please tell me more. Please tell me more. This is so wonderful. Please tell me more. And Shukdev Goswami was inspired to tell more to Parikshit Maharaj. Then eventually, at the end of the 7th day, Parikshit Maharaj was killed by this great snake bird, the Taksha, and the snake gave out the fire, poisonous fire, and Parikshit Maharaj was burnt. But because he had heard Bhagavatam all 7 days and 7 nights, his mind was totally fixed on Krishna. He fixed his mind on Krishna and went back to Godhead. So just by Sravanam, just by the power of Sravanam, he could do that. So what does Parikshit Maharaj teach us? Submissive hearing. We're supposed to hear, we are supposed to serve, and we are supposed to inquire. Relevant questions we should ask our teacher, so that the transcendental knowledge can be revealed to us. This great spiritual science can be revealed to us. And knowledge always flow from high potential to low potential. If Lakshay wants to tell me a story today and I say, Lakshay, don't tell me, I know, then Lakshay won't be inspired to tell me. So when somebody is speaking, we should always be very receptive, because knowledge flows from high potential to low potential. Electricity flows from place where there's lots of electricity to no electricity. So that's how we get the electricity. So that's how we have to hear. And we have to pray to Maharaj Parikshit so that we can focus on hearing Krishna Katha. We should not see, oh, when will the class get over? When will I get prasadam? When will I get to go? No, we should just hear like Parikshit Maharaj, and then we can go back to Godhead. So we pray to Parikshit Maharaj to give us the intelligence like him, the strength like him, and then we can all become glorious like Parikshit Maharaj. We'll all be glorified in the 3 worlds. So thank you so much. And any questions, any comments, corrections before we move on to the next section?
Do we have coyote today?
Yes, Durga Ram, do you want to ask something?
Why did Krishna didn't help Pariksh Maharaj?
He in the forest, you mean to say? Or from the Tataksh bird?
Why Krishna is not in the story? Why Krishna is not helping Pariksh Maharaj if Takshaka is burning him in poison fire?
Oh, very nice question. Very nice question. So we see, when we are in this world, we are born and we are all supposed to die. So we die today or we die later, it doesn't matter. We have to give up this body and go to Krishna. Go to Krishna and have a nice spiritual body. So Parikshit Maharaj was here for a purpose. He ruled and he had to go. Now he may go after 7 years or 7 days, it does not matter. He will anyway go. So anyway, Krishna just accelerated. He just made little fast paced his journey towards Krishna, by creating such a situation. And the greater benefit was delivered. You see, when you have to say work hard, that means, and then some outcome comes, right? Somebody is sacrificed. See in your home, your mother and father are working so hard, and they sacrifice their comfort to give you comfort, isn't it? So similarly, Parikshit Maharaj sacrificed himself so that great Srimad Bhagavatam can be spoken. So that was the glorious activity of Parikshit Maharaj. Thank you so much for your wonderful question. Is that okay for you? Anybody else wants to ask or add anything?
Krishna didn't save him because he had to die.
Krishna was there in the mind of Parikshit Maharaj, and so because he had heard enough, he could remember Krishna nicely. When he remembered Krishna nicely, he could go to Krishna. Because Krishna says, what you remember at the time of death, that state you will attain. So Parikshit Maharaj knew that verse from Bhagavad Gita. So he focused his mind and went back to Krishna.
Okay, wonderful. So, any other kids that have questions? Yes, Shreya, you had any question?
I'm new.
You're new? Okay, you still have questions. Did you understand what Mataji has explained today?
Yeah,
You liked it?
yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much for such a wonderful discourse on the first of the 9 processes of devotional service, which is Sravanam. So we will once again say 3 times Hari Bol to Mataji for her wonderful presentation. She also gave us some nice stories and pastimes. So let us all say Hari Bol to Mataji.
Haribo.
Haribol, Haribol.
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
Haribo. Haribo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your kind attention and questions and participation. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much and all the best for the next activity.
Yes. So, kids, I know you're